I am ready.
Okay.
Tony, are you ready?
I am ready.
Perfect.
All right, I'm gonna count us in this time.
Oh, you're gonna
We're
count
be
us in.
good. Yeah.
All right,
All right.
let's go.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another special episode of HCS Pro Talk. And this is our second interview of March Interview Madness, is what I'm calling the month of March here. And you know what, Will? Instead of myself introducing who we have a man who has one of the best introductions that he's made himself. And Tony, I'd like for you, if you would please do us the pleasure of bringing yourself into this interview. Let the people know who you are.
Yo, what's up, guys? This is YNOT B RECKLESS, aka YNOT B CASTING, aka I'm kind of a freaking big deal. If you don't know, now you know.
And now you fucking know, that's for sure. Tony, like he stated, aka YNOT B RECKLESS, aka YNOT B CASTING. He is one of the, I'd say one of the best up and coming casters that's coming around in the HCS. It's a pleasure to have you on, good sir. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us this evening on what we would typically call a late night episode of our show, because we're old men and we go to sleep. But you know what? I'm going to spoil something because I'm kind of an asshole. You on the Divine Mind podcast said that you just turned 30 recently, Tony. Is that true?
Oh my gosh, yes. So anytime somebody asks me how old I am, I would often say a lady never reveals her age, or I would say I just turned 21 again. Finally, Divine Mind paid a whole lot of money to get it out of me. Yes, I did turn 30. Oh, God.
Hey, it's okay. We're 29.
Yeah.
So we're right there. We're almost there. We're on the cusp. And Tony, I have to ask you, does your body hurt as much as mine does when I wake up in the morning? Like, do you have the body aches and whatnot?
Yes, absolutely. I let myself go since high school completely, and it has not been good to me. Like I didn't even know I had certain muscles until they started hurting.
You know, I had my knees ache for the first time last night trying to walk up the stairs. It was horrible.
You also play hockey.
Yeah, but you know, I wasn't used to I'm used to my muscles being sore, but like the joints in my knees, come on. Man,
you know, when we threw around the football over the weekend,
yeah,
you know, my arm still hurts.
Oh no.
Yeah, that shows you how in shape I am. Tony, we have to ask first real question that we got. Okay. Well, actually, what the fuck am I doing? I didn't even give a proper introduction. So Tony gave the best introduction of all time. But for those who don't know, Tony is a Halo caster, analyst, and content creator, now full time, and he is part of SWAT Nation, LVT Productions, and bigger and better things in the future, I imagine.
A bunch of other ones I forget sometimes.
I was gonna say, I was looking through and I'm like, what the fuck what hasn't Tony done? Like, it's insane. All right, Tony, have to ask, because kind of this, like, the introduction question for everybody is, where did the name of YNOT B RECKLESS come from?
Little did I know when I made this gamer tag long ago that I would want to be an overall Halo personality, having my hands and everything. So why not is Tony spelled backward? A lot of people catch that. A lot of people don't.
Oh my God, I'm an idiot. I did not catch that. Oh no.
And so when I first started playing Halo 3, I never owned an Xbox when I first started playing Halo 3.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't own it when I played Halo 2 either. I used to go to a buddy's house, and it was me, my buddy Brandon, and my buddy Ainsley. And we used to play split screen on this giant TV, some Halo 3. And we found out that we can play not only as guests, we can make our own gamer tags on his Xbox. We were like, okay. So my buddy went first. His name was Reckless Hero 94. That was his gamer tag, and I knew I wanted why not something, but he was like my duo, so I was like, you know what? Why not be reckless? And it went through a couple iterations and a couple of smurfs. Why not be sniping? Why not be iconic? Why not be fiving? But eventually I said, you know what? I want to go back to why not be reckless. I was coming back, and I wanted to see if any of my old Halo 3 buddies would recognize me. So I went back to why not be reckless. terrible gamer tag.
No, that's not a terrible gamer tag.
Great.
That is great because now, I mean, like I said, I'm an idiot. I didn't realize why not was Tony spelled backwards because duh. And I mean, hell, even all those Smurf accounts and whatnot, those were great gamer tags too. All those would make our list. That's great.
It is. I don't know if you can see it, but it is tattooed on my arm.
This
Look at that.
the definition of commitment right there. That's incredible. All right, so you played Halo 3, you played Halo 2, you were split screening with the buds back in the day. What hobbies did you have or do you have currently outside of gaming as of right now?
So as a lot of people may know, but if you don't, I love poker, and I used to play poker part-time back in New Jersey when I lived in New Jersey. We used to go down to the casinos literally every weekend, and that was literally my part-time job. That was actually a monthly income that I had to bring in. was playing poker, and I would say it's a terrible game for terrible people. I also used to play a lot of basketball. Not a lot of people know about this, but I would have never picked up a controller if it wasn't for me actually just dislocating my knee. And when I was playing football and I couldn't play sports, so I was like, I needed something to fill that competitive void.
Right.
And that's when I first found Halo, first found Xbox. I was like, this is incredible.
It really is incredible. That's a fact. Where did you want to go? So injuries outside of it, right? Like if the injury wasn't an issue, if that never had happened, where would you want to go to? Like if you had a potential for a scholarship, what collegiate program would you want to go to for basketball?
So the plan was for me to go to Rutgers. I was from New Jersey.
Awesome.
I was gonna go to Rutgers. I probably would not have started, sadly. Although I was in much better shape than I am now, I was not in peak college shape, and I relied a lot on the fact that I went to a private school. I actually had like a personal coach and whatnot when I was really young. And
wow.
So a lot of the fundamentals, I had very good handles. I was able to use my left hand so back when like freshman year of high school, people were just learning how to use the left hand. I've been learning how to use my left hand.
That's
so I had
awesome.
a decent amount of handles. I had a post game, and I was much further away, advanced as far as from like an actual basketball fundamental skill set. And I also had a pretty high basketball IQ. My problem is that I only would lift. I would never work on my stamina. No running, no cardio. I was like, I don't need any of that. Like, I'm just lifting. And eventually I stopped lifting weights. I started just doing push-ups and pull-ups and whatnot, because lifting weights is bad for your shot. Yeah, Rutgers. I'm sorry, Rutgers.
No, that's fine. You went more in depth because I had no idea. I mean, obviously I'm not athletic, but I had no idea that that lifting weights like worsens your shot. I had no idea.
Yep.
That's crazy. Okay, so basketball in mind, right? Do you still follow the NBA then? Like, are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
Who's your favorite
Spurs
NBA
fan to
team?
the day I die.
Who's your favorite NBA team?
Oh, I'm sorry. Spurs fan to the day I die. San Antonio all the way. I've been a Spurs fan since 2002 and don't plan on looking back. I have a couple hats somewhere I can pull out.
That's awesome. And you said you played football for a time as well. Favorite NFL team?
Favorite. I am a die easy, so the opposite of a die hard Jets fan, and I'm only doing it as a favor to my late father. May he rest in peace. I switched over to the Jets. I was a Giants fan, but he was a die hard Jets fan, and if you talk to him any day, I swear they were one move away from winning a championship. Although in my lifetime,
Super Bowl or bust,
they have
baby.
never been good, ever.
So are you paying attention to the draft at all this year? Like, you pay attention to the quarterback prospects that are coming out? I'm not big on college, so actually I don't know a lot of it, but it's actually fun for me because like when I watch the draft, it's actually like a better experience for me because when I watch these highlights of these players it's my first time seeing them. Sure.
So I feel like I'm more involved. I love it.
Absolutely. Well, I look forward to the Jets draft this year. You guys have what appears to be a great coach coming in from the 49ers and Robert Saleh. Yep. So hopefully that'll be great for you. And I have no idea if you're going to keep Sam Darnold or not, but regardless, you guys have the capital, you guys have the picks. Looking forward to it because I mean, I think I speak for everyone when we want the Jets to be better because more competition is great. And I'm guaranteed the Jets fans want that too. So,
well, I mean, as an organization, I think the best thing you can do as an organization is honestly pay low for a quarterback. Unless you can find that diamond in the rough, I mean, unless you can get a Patrick Mahomes or something, but pay low for a quarterback and put that money that you would normally spend big money on that quarterback and put a team around it. Put those put a decent wide receiver there. Put that offensive line to protect him. That running game, which will make him a whole lot. I feel like the teams that do that will find success that way. And if you happen to draft the next, if you happen to draft, Lamar Jackson, great, fantastic. But I say, and I don't know. That's just how I feel. Like I put that team around it because a quarterback costs a lot of money where you can allocate those resources in other places. I'm just a Halo catcher. What do I know?
No,
we talk about the Vikings all the time here. And if you look at Kirk Cousins, he's constantly under pressure getting sacked. We paid all that money for a quarterback and have no offensive line to protect him. What do you expect him to do? We
shouldn't have paid him anyway, though. We needed a quarterback, though.
If you look at his stats, they're decent.
He has great stats.
But imagine what it could be if he had the line,
Agreed.
I'm sorry. Kirk Cousins is me. I swear. Like if you get me in the octagon in practice, oh man, my shot's amazing. I will wreck you. And then I get into the game and it's like, the heck's going on here? How'd I get here?
Oh, I know that feeling.
That's awesome. That is awesome. You throw a perfect spiral. What the fuck are you talking about? I know we're talking about Halo 5 shot right now, but like you throw a perfect spiral, Will. God, that's hilarious. And you speak the absolute truth in building around your quarterback. That is 100% true. And people who don't agree with that, I don't know what the hell they're thinking. But all right, so let's switch back to growing up here. You mentioned that you love playing poker, okay? And in your Divine Mind interview, you stated that you love poker, and you said it's a terrible game for terrible people. But you love the game. So I have to ask, would you mind elaborating on that?
I'm a terrible person.
No, Tony, you're not. Fucking terrible person.
So that's a really old saying. Like I don't even know if it's still relevant with like the younger guys, but like a lot of the older guys, they know about that saying. It's a terrible game for terrible people, and it really just goes that like. So, and you know what? Honestly, it's just like Halo 2. Like, it's weird that I'm going to associate this with Halo, but I associate everything with Halo in my life. So, Halo and poker have this in common that, like, it's very ego-driven. Anybody who does it feels like they're, to be honest, better than they are. Like, it's really the case. Like, they're so confident in their ability, whether it's to shoot or whether it's to analyze hands or read plays. And take opportunities and that's really and minimizing mistakes, those are things that correlate between the two. And if you say, for example, lose a tournament match against somebody you maybe felt like you should have beat, or maybe a good friend, maybe shot your body a little bit, or maybe you lose a big hand in poker where you put him on that bluff and he turned a straight and he was like, well, why the heck did you chase that from the flop? You didn't belong in that hand. And it brings out the worst in you. And I think both got to do that. So that's why we say it's a terrible game, because it brings out the worst in you, and it's for terrible people, and that's why we love it. Is what we normally say. That's the end of I never finished the saying, so it's a terrible game for terrible people, and that's why we love it. as the whole saying.
I don't think that could have been better explained.
Yeah, my brother is a big Texas Hold'em player, and he'll go to tournaments, and he's the type that would be like, okay, there's like a 13% chance that a king comes out on this next card, right? Mm-hmm. And he's always playing the statistics, and sometimes someone catches a lucky break, right? They get that 3% chance where that card hits, and he gets frustrated because he's like, oh, there's no way that should have happened, but it does happen. So the having that confidence while you're playing, I totally get that.
Yeah, there's obviously draw odds, and there's implied odds as well, because you also have to think about so if a person needs an ace and whatnot, and most likely someone might have not folded an ace, so maybe he has an ace. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it and whatnot. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's really about there's 52 cards in a deck. So if I have say a pair and I think I need at least trips or better to win, well, I have the two kings that I have. there's 2 kings in the deck, so I have 2 in what's left in the deck. And then you can take it from there. That's, at its simplest form, that's the best way to kind of get into the poker math. And then there's obviously, you know, there's so many other things that go around it. Watch a YouTube video, guys. I'm not not into all that. I'm all gut.
Do you have, I have to ask, because I love this poker mentality a lot, and bringing it into Halo as well. Do you have like a cool like poker story that you laid down that hand that shocked everybody, or just something crazy that happened? It's just something off the top of your head. I'm sorry to throw you for a loop here.
So I have a I mean, everybody has that interesting poker stories, and when I have stories where somebody folded a hand for like $2, and ends up he would have got like the bad beat jackpot. Everybody would have got paid out in the room or in the table, like, you know, 50 grand and whatnot. And I have stories like that. I have stories where I've hit crazy, even though I've never got a royal flush. The years upon years I played, I never got a royal flush with 2 cards in my hand. I don't know why. If you do the math, how many hands I played, I should have gotten one. I think my favorite poker story is that I was playing in the little bar league, and a lot of good poker players hate playing in bar leagues. Okay. I love bar leagues mainly because there's a lot of people there that are not very good, so they'll tend to not make best plays, and they'll actually end up making you kind of worse sometimes. I see it as, I want to see as many hands as possible. I want to read as many people as possible. I want to just see different outcomes. I don't even care if I win or lose. I just want to see the most outcomes.
Right.
And eventually I made it over to the regionals. And I think I was like, funny because I was like #1 for like 2 weeks, and then everybody blew past me. I stopped playing as much. But I went to regionals. And on regionals, that's where it's like, okay, well, once you get down to like the final 100 people, you actually get like good poker players, actually, like really, like it gets to be like a tournament that you pay 500 entrance fee because everybody wants to make it to that final table, because first place gets like, it's like a full-on package to go to Vegas to play in the one of the WSOP opens and whatnot, and to actually like play for big money. So I made it to the final table. I should have gotten knocked out. So finals, it was final 10, excuse me. Okay. I should have got knocked out in the 32 round. I should have got knocked out in the 100th round, then the 32 round. Then I definitely should have I got a huge break in the 16 round. And I just kept getting lucky and lucky and lucky to all the way where I ended up getting 4th place, which I still got a Vegas package. I ended up not going and whatnot. There was a little bit of money issues and whatnot, but because you still got to kind of board and pay hotels. Sure. I didn't have it at the time. I was maybe like 20 years old working at Dunkin' Donuts, maybe. So I ended up not going. But to say that, like, you know, I played in a venue of which started at 800 people, and I got 4th place, I think that to me is incredible. I mean, I've never done that in Halo.
That's insane. Holy shit. I mean, it couldn't have been all luck though that got you in that position. No. There's no way to get 4th place. That's wow.
There was actually a funny moment where I ended up I was in this crazy hand, and this big dude, big a Polish buddy of mine, real big guy, and we're good friends, and he loses a hand, and it wasn't even like a big hand, but he stands up, he slams his hands on the table. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And he's like, he doesn't miss a hand. And he starts laughing. I'm like, oh, thank God he started laughing because I was so scared.
Oh, that's amazing. Holy shit. All right. Well, thank you for providing that off the cuff story. That's fantastic. I think it's really fascinating. The people who, I mean, obviously we talk to people within the Halo space, but all these things outside of it as well, like that people have grown up doing, whatever it may be. And poker is always something that's been fascinating to me because I've only just played in like a friendly capacity, you know, nothing, no stakes at all. So hearing people with stakes included, like that's incredible. Will, do you want to queue up the pup picture? Is what I'd say, because I'm about to ask.
Okay, well I can do that in post.
Yeah, that's fine.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Tony, I had to scrub back a while. Okay, through your socials to find to find the initial post of this. But you have a what you would call a little killer in Zoe. So how did Zoe come into the picture, Tony? Let us know.
Zoe is Zoe is part of a family.
Okay.
And it ended up being a case where a cousin, I guess really my aunt, she pretty much said that she's like, hey, look, we have too many dogs as it is. We can't bring in Zoe. So we can't bring in Zoe, keep her permanently. And she also wanted to really give her to somebody who might show her some love and whatnot, and really give her personal attention, because God help me, she needs it. So eventually, so this tightness. So mind you, like I had a cat back in the day, but I never owned a pet outside. That's like, you know what, Tony, you need a pet. And I'm like, no, I don't. It's like, no, you need a pet. So here's a 4-month-old Shih Tzu. Take good care of her. And I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, wait, hold on, what? I'm like, no, I don't know what to do with it. I know nothing about dogs whatsoever. Like literally nothing about dogs whatsoever. And I was like, all right, fine. I'll give her a home, and for now, keep looking for somebody and find like a good home for her. And I will make sure that the transition is nice and smooth, and we're good. But I'll take care of her for now. And I fell in love. I'm not gonna lie. So Zoe, she is a bundle of joy. All she wants is attention. That's attention, food that doesn't belong to her, and to yell at the people that are entering their home, at my lovely neighbors, because apparently she thinks everybody's trying to break in, even though nobody has, and she hasn't recognized this yet. So it's so funny. So if you walk into the kitchen, she'll just at first she'll just poke her little head out. Just look at her. Because she's also lazy, so she's not gonna walk over there. She knows you're not washing your hands, the dishes, or water. She needs to wait. She's very strategic. So she's poking, and then once she sees that you put something in the microwave or you turn on the stove, boom! It's crazy because no matter where she's at, she instantly teleports to right at your feet. It's insane. I don't know how she does it. Pretty sure she's magic. Like, I'm not lying. I'm pretty sure she's magic.
Oh my God. And when she's at your feet, she just wants food? Is that what this is about?
Any food that is not hers.
My daughter's the same exact way. Any food that's not hers, she wants in her mouth. It's crazy. How old is Zoe?
She's a year and a half now. A year and a half.
Awesome.
And she's getting big. She's in this picture that you're probably seeing on the screen right now. She's a little fluff ball. What the viewers, that is. She's a little fluff ball. But she's trimmed. And she's definitely healthy. Let me tell you, I spoil her. She is definitely healthy.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations to you, and congratulations to Zoe on having a good dad. All right, let's get into some career stuff, shall we? So where did you get your first start in getting into casting and analysis for, let's just say, esports, if you've done stuff outside of Halo as well?
Mainly Halo for the most part. And I like it that way for now. I want to be hyper focused on Halo, and eventually I might branch off in the future. But right now, it's Halo in the sites.
Awesome.
So I never was interested in casting whatsoever. Like I was a competitor. For a very long time. I started competing at the end of I started playing at Halo 2 at a buddies of mine house, started competing in Halo at the end of Halo 3, and then really got into a Halo Reach. But I was a competitor. I wanted to be a pro. I was the best. Sure.
That poker
and
mentality.
Eventually, so I took a break, came back for Halo 5, and I was like, you know what? Like, I like Halo 5. I'm trying to get better. I was getting better. I said, let me compete in this what's called Halo Draft League. Which is pretty much just it was a league for amateur players and whatnot. There was at first season there was no prize pool. It was really just for bragging rights. Really the essence of competitive Halo, and I was doing pretty good. And I had 11 p.m. game, and there was a 9 p.m. available where they were like, hey, we don't have a caster for this game. Does anybody want to try their hands in casting? Anybody's open. I was like, ooh, I should be practicing for my match, but instead I'm going to try this casting thing. So I jumped into the booth.
Yeah.
And I was awful, terrible, disgusting. Oh my gosh. I rambled. I said a whole bunch of ums. I was stuttering the whole time. I was literally the worst. But I will say, it lit a little something in me. Not yet. I didn't know I wanted to pursue it yet, but I was like, you know what? I want to try this again. So I did it a second time, and I didn't improve. I did it a third time, and I didn't improve again. But I did it a fourth time, and that's where I kind of got into a little bit of rhythm.
Yeah,
still bad, but I was like, okay, well, you know what? I'm like, this is okay. Like, and then the fifth time, I said, you know what? I'm gonna re-listen to my VODs. I'm gonna treat this like Halo. I'm going to do film review. I was going to listen to my VODs. I'm going to pick out maybe 5 to 6 items, and this is what I want. This is the mistakes I made. This is what I want to work on. I want to improve on this.
Right.
And I did it 7 or 8 times. I kept going. And it started off as just a venue for me to be involved in competitive Halo, and not be good at the game. But it evolved from there. It really, it became a passion of mine. I wanted to, because I found out that I love entertaining an audience. And this is one way. This is probably my biggest venue of doing that, besides my stream. But this is probably even bigger than that. That I could entertain so many people with just something that I'm truly passionate about, and that's Halo.
Well, I think you're doing an incredible job so far, and the amount of energy that you bring to every match that you cast it's invigorating. It's like you know when Tony's fucking on, that's for sure. So who has been your biggest influence when it comes to casting? This can be from a Halo and or professional sport as well.
Well, I mean, like I said, I was never interested in casting for a while, so I would listen to casters and I was like, oh, that's Wonder Boy. He sounds good, but I never delve into it.
Right.
The first caster where I was like, whoa, this guy's a professional. This guy belongs on like sports and what, like this guy's the real deal, was Bravo. Like Bravo just, I could never be Bravo, ever. He has a way with his words. He's super articulate. I'm ugly. Like everything about Bravo is just perfect. Just a way, and former coach, amazing player.
Yeah.
Everything about him just oozes like Halo success. He was like on the under 30 for Forbes. It's literally insane. I know that I couldn't be a Bravo. That's just not me. But then I saw Golden Boy, and I was like, wait, Golden Boy, he has charisma, he has energy, he makes things exciting. I can't be the Golden Boy, but I can be a Golden Boy, and I can shine like a golden light and make people around me better and have fun, and also make things super exciting for the people.
Tony, 2 things. 1, you're drop dead gorgeous. So shut the fuck up about that being ugly shit. And 2, you know what? I'm going to lean into what you said. Maybe you will never be a Bravo. Maybe you'll never be a Golden Boy, but you will always be a Tony, and nobody can be like you. So you bring something, like you bring your own type of enthusiasm to the casting desk as well. So don't count yourself out of anything, okay? I seriously mean that.
Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you.
Absolutely. Never call yourself ugly again, I swear to God. So what type of prep can you expect to do leading up to casting an event?
I do a lot of prep. Anytime cast, I usually do these weird mouth exercises and to like kind of stretch the mouth, and it's kind of weird. To be honest with you, if you want, I can show you, but it's like really weird.
Yes, we want to see it if you would like to.
So like I'll do like a little bit of. So I've never done this on camera before. And I'll make sure my mouth is stretched out, and then you gotta move the tongue. I've never done this on camera before, which I can't do it. So you gotta move your tongue a lot. Like you gotta make sure everything's like nice and loose, and also drinking a ton of regular water as well. I drink a lot of flavored waters, but I really dive into water. Always drink some hot tea, and then right before I broadcast, so I'll usually turn on a voice recorder. But most of the time it's on my computer, but sometimes it'll be on my phone, and I'll pull up somebody's stream and I will just cast, do 30 seconds to a minute casting, recording it, playing it back, listening to it, and doing that over and over again. Maybe about about 8 to 11 times until I really feel like I'm like, okay, so because I'm always nervous before every broadcast. I usually talk really fast. I get into like auctioneer mode and whatnot. So I got to make sure my pacing's good, that I'm emphasizing the first and the last word of every sentence, and the middle as well. When I emphasize, and everything's good because I'm from New Jersey. So all I want to do is talk as fast as possible, as much as possible, give you as much information as possible. But that's one thing I've known I have to work on. I have been, and I've improved a lot, but I'm still working on this pacing, emphasizing, and sounding good.
Awesome. We'll make sure to include something in post about something in your mouth when you're doing the whole mouth movement thing. And I'm kidding. I will never do that. But
That sounds hilarious.
So you during your broadcasts, right? Like during your casting, I've noticed that you like to include a lot of like I would say, yeah, I'll say like fun facts about the players who are playing. Tell us how you go in depth on how you find that information and that type of stuff that you bring to the casting, because you don't hear a lot of that.
So I always say 150 player bio, but it might be at 175. Maybe I might be close to 200.
That's insane.
Where I have a bio of about 200 people. We'll call it 175. Actually, I don't think I'm at 200 yet. And it's people, things that people submitted to me. There's also things that I've gone out and just found out on my own. Checking Halo Wiki, looking at their stream, watching things, and I just try to find out as much information as possible. So usually age, location, hobbies that they're into, notable placings, notable teammates, and then for a lot of the pros, it's just like questions that I would ask them during their stream. So I like I said, mainly it was Halo Wiki, and then people submitting stuff, and then also just from watching tournaments, and also if you stream. To anybody who streams that's a notable top AM or pro player, you are giving me an opening to ask you questions. So I do it all the time.
Awesome. That's
and the information I give, and I don't overload. So like every time I head to a stream, I'll ask somebody one question. So I was saying like, hey, what separates you from the other pros? And then he'll answer. But I'm not going to, I thought to interview, so I'm not going to hit him with a bunch of questions. But the next time I watch, hey, Sayin, how would you describe your play style? And they don't even know I'm doing it. Like I just randomly ask these questions. And meanwhile, I'm like, ooh, let me put this in the bio.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is really cool. Because like I said, you don't hear that type of stuff within other broadcasts. I'm not talking just within Halo. I'm talking within other esports as well. You just don't hear that type of stuff, and it adds that type of personality to not just a little bit more in depth about the player themselves, but you taking the time, doing the research, bringing that type of different casting to the table. That's you don't see it, and that's something
I think it's a big miss. I think you're correct. I think it's a big miss across multiple esports, not just Halo, but multiple esports where we don't know our professional players behind the screen. And one thing that like I'm invested, like for example, I love basketball, and there's certain players even outside of my team that I'll gravitate to. Like I know LeBron James has a school that he built.
Yes.
I know that during a lot of these natural disasters, especially like in Houston, James Harden went out and and helped out so much in his community. And there was certain players in the All-Star break. I can't remember. I hate that. I can't remember. I think it might have been Joel Embiid. I could be wrong though. But he said he's going to donate whatever money he makes in the All-Star game to these different donate, and whatever. If I know that commonly loves to cook and he loves to play basketball, I resonate with that. I know that about him, and that makes me root for him. And I feel like we need to do a better job. That's why I started a YouTube series and I called it Behind the Screen. And I'll interview somebody, challenge them to a 1v1, and then do film review with them. And I think it's like the coolest thing to get people, to get the pros, just to let the audience know more about them.
Absolutely. And you had an episode with Commonly, as a matter of fact, as well. So shout out to that episode. All right. From one of our viewers, his name's Goalie Sniper. He asks, what is it that you love the most about casting?
And I kind of touched on it before. Like I said, when I first started casting, it was a way for me to just be involved in competitive Halo without being good. Right. Like I was never going to make top 8, but I learned that I really love to entertain people, and I'm passionate about it. I'm also passionate about Halo. So it just brings those two worlds together and allows me to share something that I'm passionate about with people that are also passionate about Halo. and to entertain and put a smile on people's face. I do some silly things to make sure that the people around me are smiling and having a good time. But I will gladly do that because that's what I'm all about. Like it's just simply what I'm all about. I want to make sure everybody around me is having a great time.
There was a clip that I showed Will when LVT Productions introduced their replay into, and there's a clip that was posted on Twitter, and it was a snipe that it happened, and they rewound it like all the way back to it happening again. And you said like something about hitting twice and feeling so nice or something like that, making it rhyme. I laughed my ass off.
Yeah, it was so good.
And then they rewound it again, and then you rhymed something with 3 times, and I'm like, that is, I swear all the time, so fuck it. But like, that was fucking awesome. When that happened, I'm like, this LVT bringing the replays in, Tony with that just bombastic, amazing casting, just something off the cuff like that. It's, oh, that's fucking awesome, Tony. So yes, keep doing that, please. Because that did bring a smile to my face. And when I showed Will, he smiled as well. And that's the type of shit when you have, and I'm not calling anybody out because it doesn't happen very often, but when you watch professional esports, I mean, hell, sports in general, right? There are some casting situations where the caster can feel monotone, or it feels run of the mill and whatnot. And that's not engaging. That's not engaging for me as a viewer. You just have to kind of deal with it. But seeing other casters as well within not just Halo, but other esports as well, it's like, it's a big breath of fresh air. And so keep doing what you're doing, Tony. Like I mentioned before, you're doing great things. You're only going to get better. You're only going to excel further. So just keep it fucking going. So I don't mean to be a downer here, but another question from Goalie Sniper. He asks, since you started casting, right, what would you say what would you say used to be your weakest part of casting? And then what do you think you've improved upon most during your time casting? And I think you touched on it before.
I kind of touched on that a little bit before, but I guess there's more into it. Like I'm from New Jersey, and I also, if people haven't noticed, I stutter a lot. So it's really weird for me to be a caster because those two things don't miss. They don't mix together. I call it auctioneering, where I just try to, I spit out things as fast as possible, not adding emphasis. And I guess it's okay for my stream one night. It's not good on the desk. So it's so the first I tried to improve on is my pacing and slowing down and breathing. Whoa, that's weird, breathing. And actually, and trying to be articulate and trying to add emphasis and trying to speak more like this as opposed to me, the 21-year-old I go to Pennsylvania with the BR in hands, absolutely. Or I can say the 21-year-old out of Coatesville, Pennsylvania, BR in hands, absolutely making plays, super seat. Like it's so much better. And it's so much more digestible for the audience. So that's probably the one thing that I've worked on, improved the most, but I'm still improving. That is me knocking the New Jersey out of me every day, and it is hard.
That's awesome. How long would it say it took you to learn like all the different call outs for all the Halo 5 maps that are in competitive?
Well, as a competitive player, I definitely needed to know the call outs, but I also will say too long because I have for some reason, I don't like to go to other people first and ask for help. I don't know why. I like to dive in and try to learn everything myself and make mistakes. And so I was learning call outs instead of just asking them, hey, would you mind going over like this one map with me every single day? Like every day, let's pick a map and let's work on call outs so I can learn it. Instead, I was just watching streams over and over again and listening to their communication and learning it from them. And it took me so much longer to learn the call outs that way, as opposed to just asking somebody who knew them and said, hey, would you mind just helping me out? But that's because I'm extremely stubborn.
It's okay. It's okay. And people learn different ways and learn at their own paces. So, all right. I kind of included this as like a blanket statement, but it can even be from a casting perspective, whatever you'd like. But I'm going to ask, what's your best story from a Halo esports event?
Best story from a Halo esports event. So I'm going You know what? I'm gonna go with me playing. I'm gonna go. So okay, so
do.
I was competing in Halo 4. It was the first Halo event I have ever attended. I didn't grow up very wealthy and whatnot, so I was able to fly across the world and or the US and attend all these tournaments. Like I was working at Dunkin' Donuts and my parents weren't all that rich or whatnot, not even close. So so when Halo came to New Jersey, I was like, I need to be there. So I found myself on a very good team, which I had to lie to get there, to be honest with you. I had to tell them I was this big shot Halo player and whatnot, and this, that, and third. And I wasn't. This was my first event, but I did not tell them that. And I was teaming with
shot.
You got the spot.
I teamed with Plague, Little Country, and Simply Sanely. Little Country and Simply Sanely are ridiculous. Simply Sanely, one of the best Halo 3 players right now. I don't think he plays too much, but he is absolutely insane, and I can't wait to see him come Infinite. He's crazy. But I got on that team, and so I went to my first event, and I'm ready. I'm nervous, but I'm ready. And I sit down, play my first game, and it's Spartan the dog. Who the heck is that guy? Never heard of that guy before. Literally never heard of that guy before. This was his first event, I believe, that kind of put him on the map. Never heard of him. Oh, we're gonna sorry the dog. We're gonna wreck this guy. What is going on? And he might have been team with Aptitude. I think it was like Queen's brother or something. He had a nice little team going. Eventually he met L-Town, a bunch of other people, and at that event, and they went on to make great things happen.
Yeah.
On the backs of me. Like, what is going on? Like, he wrecked me so hard and I played terrible. How dare you, Spartan? I thought we were cool, man. But the first time I've ever heard of Spartan the dog. What a weird gamer tag. And that's, I'm saying it that way because that's how I felt. I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
So when he destroyed me, it was demoralized. I'm like, the first game, I think I might have gotten 2 kills. The second game, we got destroyed. And it was a terrible experience. And then, again, none of us knew who it was. So he destroyed us. So we decided to, I think we scrimmed, I can't remember the gentleman's name. I apologize. But we scrimmed the team between games. We were in the losers bracket, and we got knocked out round. So we had a little bit of waiting time. And when we were scrimming, I was playing incredible. Like, I was actually playing some of the best Halo, putting shots, staying alive, playing amazing. Like, and it was great. We were trash talking the whole time, and our team, all we did the whole time was win or lose, we were yelling on the top of our lungs, trash talking the entire time. So there was like, Spartan and L-Town's team playing on the other side of things, like all like the really, really good people playing. And we had a crowd around us because we're yelling on the top of our lungs the whole time, having a good time, hyping each other up, getting in the mental of our opponents. And we did pretty good. I think we might have ended maybe top 8 or something. It wasn't a big event though. So It wasn't that many teams that showed up. But either way, it was pretty decent. That was my first playing event. So I would say that was my best event.
Did you tell your teammates eventually that, hey, I lied to get on this team?
Oh yeah. I did,
reaction?
and it was fun. Their response was, "We knew after game 1."
I'm like, I bet they fucking knew right away. I'm like, who the fuck's this kid?
No.
That's amazing. Oh my
man.
God, that's great. All right, along the same vein, do you have like a worst story from a Halo esports event?
Or you can even turn it to
that game one was pretty bad. No, it was really bad. That game 1. I didn't goose though. I didn't goose. I think it's gonna sound weird. My worst event was a good. I guess it was good. It was a great event, but it was the worst for me.
Okay.
And I'll give you the reason why. So it was DreamHack 2019. Just happened recently. It was about one of the last events that happened. Yep. And I moved down here to Atlanta. I decided to go there, and I didn't tell anybody I was going. So when you go to an event, I didn't realize how bad it was, but like, you really need to go with like a group of friends. You need to at least one other person that you need to say, hey, this is my duo for the day or for the weekend. I'm gonna hang out with them the whole time.
Yeah.
Because the experience with a group of people, with either one other person, is a lot different than just roaming the area by myself. I'll be honest, I literally spent the whole event by myself.
Oh,
I didn't, people were going out to eat and drinks before the event and after events and whatnot. And, I guess hanging out at the hotels or B&Bs with their buddies. And nobody recognized me really as a person. So I met up with a few people here and there, but I didn't like know them well enough to say, hey, can I just like tag along with you? And I didn't know, I didn't, it was weird because I didn't know them well enough to really say something like that. And I probably should have. And like the game community is awesome. They probably would have like, oh, yeah, we don't know you, but sure, come on by. And I didn't take that step myself to do so. So I literally spent every day of the event by myself. And it kind of sucked, to be honest with you. But the event itself was great. Like DreamHack put out an amazing show, and I'm sure everybody there had a good time. I'm just saying, except for me, because I literally spent the whole time.
Well, shit. I'm sorry to hear that, Tony. If anybody,
but I'm hoping I made a lot of friends through Halo. I think a lot of people know who I am now.
Absolutely.
So the next event I go to, I'm hanging out with everybody. Like you guys come to my Airbnb, I'm inviting you guys out to eat, and I'm gonna have the greatest time ever, have the biggest groups ever, because I I don't ever want anybody who goes to an event. Let me tell you, anybody goes to an event. If you find yourself going by yourself, I don't care if I know you or I don't. You DM me on Twitter. My DMs are open. Doesn't matter if I follow you or not. DM me on Twitter. We're gonna hang out. Because you will never feel like I did at 29. I don't know why I pointed at the camera. He's not doing that. I don't know why. But you will never feel like I did. DreamHack 2019. You will have a friend in me. We will hang out. We will have a good time. And at first drink is on me.
Oh man, look at that,
Tony. First Infinite event. We're gonna come find you. We're gonna hang out. We gotta do it.
Yep.
You're gonna be. We're all gonna be there.
First drinks on him.
I guess so.
There we go.
First drinks on me. I never owe a lot of people drinks.
All right, Will.
Oh
yes, this is you. So this is all you.
This is it. We'll show the graphic on screen here. But Tony, do you want to describe where did the idea of the Super T-Man persona come from? We'll show the picture that originated it here. This is part of our Explain That Picture or Explain That Gram segment we're doing.
I'm gonna be real with you guys. I know. So I freaking don't know. So I started this Tony Takeover event, and it was so I would take like the popular streamers and I would just say, hey, would you mind just playing with them? I have a graphic made, and I just want it to be an event where like, hey, we're gonna play matchmaking together. That's it. That's all we gotta do. Nothing crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, a couple people said, no, I don't like you. You're stupid. But some of them were like, yeah, like, like I would be down. And so I would. So it started with Anthony, and then I played a little bit with Swish, and even Frosty got along with it as well. Like I was playing with Frosty like every day for like 2 weeks. It was crazy. And Lady Echidna as well. But it really started with Anthony. We were doing it every single Tuesday when we were doing it. And it started off with, okay, watch me and Anthony play matchmaking, to watch me and Anthony destroy matchmaking, to watch me and Anthony stomp evil. And then it just slowly started to turn into me acting like I was like, we were going and like this feeding evil and like doing this for justice. And I don't even know where it came from, but then it just kept evolving. And I was like, how can I make my stream more fun? And then I was thinking like costumes, and I didn't even think like mask and a mask and cape. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get a bunch of masks and capes. I even have one that's custom made. That's kind of a big deal. Like I got a bunch of masks and capes, and yeah, I literally, and then it was really fun too, because even Lady Echidna, when I did mine with hers, like when this was not planned at all, she just pops up with a costume on. I'm like, what? I'm like, no way, this is the first time anybody has worn a costume with me. So me and Lady Echidna were dressed up the entire time. It was so cool.
It's incredible.
Told you,
awesome.
Tony.
Oh.
Told you, Tony. You bring out the best in people, man. You bring out that charisma. That's fucking awesome. All right, let's transition to some more like, let's just strictly Halo, let's say, right? Okay. Tony, what are you hoping for from a competitive and casting standpoint when it comes to Halo Infinite?
Well, I'm hoping for a long life of competitive Halo.
Yes.
That's the start. And I guess like from like a competitive, like me casting and me I guess somewhat competing, I would say, you know, obviously good maps and game types, like you can't have a competitive game with bad maps. I've seen plenty of Call of Duties try to do it, and it's not good. Like Black Ops 2 was my favorite Call of Duty because the maps were so balanced, the weapons were so like, it was like the best balanced competitive game possible. So that's on the competitive like side of things as far as tournaments, maps, game types, and get them out as early as possible and get that feedback and perfect it. Like Halo Reach was so good, but it took V7 settings to get there, and it took too long to get to no bloom, no sprint.
Yep.
And so it's tough. Get it out as fast as possible. Get the player feedback. You have the pro team, Wes, and all of them doing. I put them to work and come out with the best competitive settings possible. And then for like a ranked competitive, I want to say so there needs to be a good precision-based weapon every game mode across the board. I need to load up Team Slayer, Team Doubles, and not have to veto for BRs like I had to do in Halo 3.
Oh yeah.
Like I need to have an option to start with a good precision base. If it's like Halo 5 and it's the sidearm, but it's viable against AR, great, that's fine. If it's like a loadout based kind of thing, okay, I'll experiment with that. But some way, somehow, I need to be able to start with a good precision based weapon across the board.
Awesome. So this could be this might be a little hot button topic here, but are you for Slayer or against Slayer in competitive?
I'm for Slayer because not because I like Slayer the game type, but I think you need variety.
Okay.
And not just variety for the sake of variety. Not like a bad game type to throw in there just for best. So I'm for Slayer because I think Slayer adds the variety of getting game 2 and game 5, and you need to end on that. But if we could perfect I hate copying Call of Duty, but I think it's kind of really cool. If we could perfect an S&D style
there it is.
Game type, maybe even give like breakout full shield settings on like regular maps, but smaller maps to try, or something like an S&D style that works for Halo that could take its place. I'm fine with that because, man, let me tell you, Search and Destroy may not be played in like scrims and whatnot with the pro teams, but man, when it's played, it creates the greatest snap moments of like all time. It's so I would say that the only way I would replace Slayer is with something Slayer like, and maybe like a round base.
We've talked about that. That sounds perfect.
I would, for me, I enjoy the game types we have too.
Mm-hmm.
I would love an S&D type essence of a game as well, but I guess a lot of people have been talking about just moving it off of game 5, not have it being the deciding game. How do you feel about having the Slayer as deciding games?
I think it has to be. Sorry, I think the only place that Slayer really fits is game 2 and game 5. Like I feel like a game 5 capture the flag. I guess I would have to see it, but like for example, I host esports arena live almost every other week and whatnot, and there's best of 3s. Ending with an objective or like a capture the flag or stronghold, it's just not the place. It's simply not. Wow. It doesn't go to like that. It doesn't go to like that 49 feel, because that's what I want with Slayer. Hey, if you can make a Slayer game type where there's only 1 kill, 49, I'm about it. Like because when it gets to that close matchup and things start to slow down, and just like S&D does, and when things start to slow down and you cut the map in half and you can't even hear a pistol fired until you get a nice flank and then everything turns up. That's the moments I'm looking for a game 5 Slayer. So if I can have an S&D style game type, I'll take that. But until then, you don't get that with catcher because it's move, fly. It's crazy. But I want that. Cut the map in half. Nobody wants to make a mistake. It's within 2 kills or even 1 kill, 49, 48, where you can't make a mistake. I'm telling you, you cut the tension with a butter knife.
Hell yeah. No, that's exactly what a round 11 in S&D is. Like it's exactly what that is. The amount of, like you mentioned, like the amount of snap moments, the amount of big plays that can happen in an S&D type game mode is absolutely insane. Like I may not like playing S&D in COD, but watching it at the competitive level it's remarkable seeing the plays that they're able to do. It's remarkable. And so we talked about before, that would be something that Halo really could excel at if done properly. And like you mentioned, Tony, taking Breakout as it existed and expanding upon it and making it better, because I personally like Breakout when it was introduced. It was different. It broke the mold a little bit in what Halo could do. So I'm not saying Breakout as it is the play, but Breakout expanded upon, improved could be. Okay, Tony, I'm going to put you in a scenario here. All right.
Oh God, I'm scared.
So, well, shit. I frightened him. What do I do now? Do we just leave? Like, is that
what do I do with my hands?
All right, bring it on. I got the heavy artillery. Okay, bring it on.
Oh, shit. Yeah, look at that. It's dope. We don't even have one of those yet. So, Infinite has released, and HCS has invited you, Tony, to be an analyst and caster for an official event. Where is the event taking place? Who is your casting partner? What series is being played? And who's playing in that series? What's your like fucking just pie in the sky? This is the moment, the series. What is it?
Well, I mean, first of all, if Halo ever like asked me to cast like an official event, like a LAN event, I probably would spend 30 minutes crying, like in this pure joy. Like I say that I'm laughing, but I'm not joking. Like I really probably would. Like just the journey that has been on has been incredible, and I don't even know if to be honest, I don't even know if that would even end the journey right there. But like it would be a huge mark, and it would be like validating all the hard work and the hours and the decisions that were made along the way. It'd be crazy.
Hell yeah.
As far as where it's at, you know, I'm gonna go full circle. I'm gonna say it's at DreamHack Atlanta. Like, I'm gonna say it's back in the place where I've had my worst experience, and I was down bad, as they say, as young guys say, and turn it around. And because it's my hometown too, like I'm in this area now. I should say hometown, but it's where I'm at now.
Yeah.
I'm from Jersey, but I'm here now. So it's amongst my people, and it would be turning the worst experience I had in an event into the greatest event of all time.
Hell yeah.
As far as the series, I gotta go best of 7 grand finals. Like I don't mean to talk myself up, but I feel like I'm a grand finals type of caster. Like I'm the closer. You come and you bring in the closer. Like I feel like my style of casting is perfect for just bringing the hype and bringing it home. So I got to go grand finals, best of 7. Man, it goes to a second best of 7.
Hell yeah.
Game 7.
Right.
Like
Losers
all the way
break,
down to the
back,
wire.
Baby.
All teams are so tired. They've exhausted all their resources. They laid it all on the line.
Yes.
So at this point, they're running on absolute fumes. The monster is not kicking in anymore. Like now it's like they're tired. There's like players are pulling off shirts and they're in tank tops because it's hot. I don't know why it's hot, but it is. And it's game 7, best of 7. And it's Sentinels versus Cloud9. The storyline is the Toxin Splice rivalry is back, and it's going in there. And who's the best of the best of the best? We're sorry, this is the first Infinite LAN. This is the first one, and it's the rivalry is back at DreamHack. No, there's not hidden info. I don't know anything about what's gonna happen, but it is back in Atlanta. Best of 7, double elimination, down to the absolute wire.
Game 7, 49-49 Slayer?
49-49. In fact, it ends 50-50, so they have to replay the whole match.
It's like CTF Fathom all over again. Holy shit. That's amazing. I fucking love that. Oh my God. Talk about one of the greatest modern day, I would say, matchups as well. Is that Splice Tox matchup that they've consistently had over the last couple of years of Halo 5. Like that, we talked about it so much, where that Splice roster was unlike anything we've ever seen in Halo history. Really, they were faster than anyone you've ever seen. They made it so you were on the back foot the whole fucking game.
Oh yeah, they took the dial from 10, broke it, and turned it up to 11. You know?
They absolutely did. And you have some of the most methodical players in the Sentinels roster, and it's just that matchup where you have these young guns. I mean, they had a couple vet talent as well, but like the young gods in Shotzi and Renegade coming in, coming up against these vets who are battle hardened. They're, oh my God, Tony, I really hope that's what it is.
Final boss and Sentinels, or whatever name you want to put them under, across the board, Optic, Tox, CLG, whatever you want to call them. But those were the two best and most consistent teams throughout Halo's history.
Yes.
Absolutely insane. But there was 1 year where Splice was the most dominant team.
Ran the gauntlet.
In Halo's history.
They were.
And that was then. Like, it just, like, it wasn't even like, so Sentinels and Final Boss were structured, and they had that skill as well.
Yep.
But it was really about structure, setups, and really picking your opponent apart by not making mistakes. Splice was just, we're going to outskill you.
Oh, it's insane.
You can't outshoot us. You can't outmaneuver. We're faster. We have better shots, and we're just going to keep the pressure on you. And you will always be on your back foot. You could have us 2 down, and you're still on your back foot. And that's how they beat you.
And that's during, was it the 2018 season? The 2018 World season, I think, is that Splice roster. The events that they won, they didn't just win, they won handily. Like it was times where you saw Sentinels, well, not Sentinels at the time, you saw Tox lose by a margin you've never seen before. And it's the only team that was able to do that was that Splice team. And they played 2s. Like, that's how they practiced. They played fucking 2s.
It worked for them.
I couldn't believe it. I was
But they played 2s because, like, when you play 2s, the map is so open, and you can do so much more than you can in 4s with 4 people watching you.
Right.
But with the level of speed that they were playing with, the map was always open like it was 2s, it feels like. Like, I feel like it may not have been their grand scheme, but it kind of worked in that way because the way the speed that they played at opened up the game so much that it was almost like they were playing 2s. Like, they were able to get in these like crazy spots and play ultra aggressive because everybody's on their back foot. Like, it was crazy. But again, I still Sentinels and Final Boss still best and most consistent team of all time.
Yes.
But man, was that Splice roster impressive and like must see TV. It was like back in the day, like the Phoenix Suns were not the best team. But man, was that offense crazy.
Oh my God. That's fantastic. When Cloud9 at the time, I mean, not Cloud9, when CLG at the time, when Halo 5 had just like released and it was the first World season, and they dropped Ogre 2 to pick up Frosty. Like, I imagine that initial feeling was like, you just dropped one of the greatest Halo players of all time for this kid. But that kid was doing things that you've just never seen before, finding locations that nobody's seen before, jumps, just making Halo 5 his game. And then you have Shotzi and Renegade come in towards the latter life cycle of the game, and they take that to a whole other level, doing things in Halo 5 that like you and Shyaway are breaking down that you just don't see. Things are still being found to this day, and obviously everybody's looking forward to Infinite, but like, I can't, oh my God, I can't imagine. It's insane. I'm sorry to keep going on about it. All right.
I have nothing but time.
Tony, we've reached the end, which means I have some rapid fire questions. So are you ready? Well, that's too bad. So, okay, here we go. Let's see. Now, here's the real question. Let's see if Tony actually does this rapid fire style.
Well, you broke up the rapid fire style the last time we did this. So,
yeah, I'm dumb, but that's besides the point. So, all right, Tony, here we go. Favorite food?
Pizza. Such a bad answer.
That's not a bad answer.
My favorite. It's the first one that popped in my head. I'm scared. It's not even my favorite. It's literally not even my favorite. I don't even like pizza that much. I'm not backing home.
Do you want to restate a different answer? Because we've already fucked up the rapid fire portion. So I mean,
all right, I'll go. Pizza's my rapid one. After thinking about it for a second, steak.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, now we have to ask. Favorite cut?
You know what's funny? I've been a ribeye guy for so long, really good ribeye guy, and now I'm starting to go back to filet mignon. Not so much for the flavor, but man, that tenderness, it's just
can't be beat.
It's nice.
Yep. Awesome. Favorite movie?
I'm not rapid firing. I'm so bad.
It's okay. It's okay. No one is. Don't even worry about it. But favorite movie?
Favorite movie. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Mr. Deeds. I don't know. It's a classic, and I can always go back to Mr. Deeds.
Hell yeah!
And it just always makes me laugh. I don't know. I'm gonna go Mr. Deeds. Why not?
Have you seen Uncut Gems?
I have not. No.
Okay, because Adam Sandler. I just asked because everyone says that movie is great, and like you always think of like Mr. Deeds. You think of Happy Gilmore as like being heyday of Adam Sandler, but apparently Uncut Gems is like him back in peak form. So I don't know. I haven't seen neither.
We'll check it out
to see it.
Hell yeah. Favorite musical artist or group?
Favorite musical artist or group? I'm gonna go.
Or who you're really vibing with right now?
Right now, I mean, I'm big on Drake. I'm big on Drake. And I would say, as far as rapper wise, I would say Joyner Lucas. But as far as like who I can listen to over and over and over again, I don't know what it is. Like I've been on like a Jackson 5 trip. I've been doing a lot of Jackson 5. And
that's a good fucking answer. Oh, it's a good answer. All right, so we talked about sports a little bit earlier in the interview as well, but what's your favorite sport and team from said sport?
Spurs over Jets. Sorry.
Awesome. No, there's nothing to be sorry about. You like what you like. All right, favorite Halo game of all time?
That's hard. Favorite Halo game of all time, even though I don't play it right now, I'm going to go Halo 3. But only because with Halo 3, it was the first Halo game I ever owned and what really started the passion. I played Halo 2 at a buddy's house, never owned it.
Yep.
Halo 3, I owned it and I played it every day. And that's what started. That's what started this journey that I'm on.
Yeah. One and the same, Tony. Okay. Here's a hot one. Worst Halo game of all time. Get your hand out of here. I know what the fuck you're doing. Get the fuck out of here. Let him answer. Oh, the suspense is fucking killing me right now because I have a feeling I know what the answer is going to be.
I feel so bad for saying this. Like, I should say C because I never played C, but no, I never played C. So I guess
fuck
I
you,
C.
Silos.
I'm gonna go Halo 4.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And I feel so bad because like Halo 4, this is the first tournament I went to, and like and it wasn't that bad. Like it really wasn't. Like there was some good Halo 4.
It's okay. It's okay. Everybody loves to hate that game. It's quite all right. And frankly, I mean, its competitive life cycle was short, to say the least. But no, like I said, you like what you like and you don't like what you don't.
I should have said Halo 3. Halo 3 is my favorite and the most hated at the same time. I swear. Now, Halo 3, I have a love-hate relationship with it. Like, if I have to veto for BRs one more time.
No, I hear you. 100%. All right. What's the best place for food in Jersey?
Best place for food in Jersey. Okay, so it's off of Florida Grove Road. Right over the Staten Island Bridge leading to New York. Florida Grove Road in Perth Amboy, but Florida Grove Road runs perpendicular to so on one side you have Perth Amboy, on the other side you have Woodbridge, and if you keep going far you got Hopelon. But along Florida Grove Road, before you hit the road at the end, Warren Park, there's a place called oh no, I just went through all that and I forgot the place name. It's a little pizza place. Oh my gosh. We're gonna have to edit this and I'm gonna have to find I can't remember the pizza place, but it's a little pizza place, little mom and pop shop right next to what was a Kroger, and I can't remember the freaking name. Milano's. It's a place called Milano's Pizza, and it is the most interesting pizza you'll ever have because it doesn't taste like anything you'll ever. The crust is nice and crisp.
Yeah.
But it's decently heavy on the cheese, light on the tomato sauce, but just enough. And like you don't put toppings on that pizza.
No.
If you go there and you put toppings on that pizza, I'm gonna wish bad things upon your friends and family. Yeah, the pizza's so good you don't need to put toppings on it. I swear it.
No, cheese is the golden slice anyway, so don't worry about it. That's absolutely that's the way to go. Fucking cheese or nothing. Fantastic Milano's. Okay. Gotta eventually go there. I'm gonna add another one here. Best place for food in Atlanta since you're there.
I don't know.
What's the best place you've been to since moving to Atlanta?
There's a place that it's funny because I have to visit there. I haven't been there yet.
Okay.
I ordered delivery from there and it took forever to get because it's actually coming from Atlanta, so it's actually like not really all that close to me.
Okay.
And there's a place called Milk and Honey.
Milk and Honey.
That's the name of the place, and apparently it's their signature milk and honey sauce, like drizzle that they make and mix it with a whole bunch of other stuff, and it's really good. They put it on top of their biscuits, on top. They put it on top of everything. It's like even like it takes the place of a syrup to go on top of like waffles and stuff.
Sure.
And oh my gosh, like we're talking like everything's like a specialty dish, like like crab cake Benedict, like all this crazy stuff on there. Like the menu's insane. I had it last Sunday. I ordered from there. I wanted to treat myself. A little expensive, but it's whatever. I wanted to treat myself. And man, was it so good. Milk and Honey, best place that I've been to so far. But I'm sure there's a lot of places I haven't gone to, and there's probably so many, especially in the heart of Atlanta.
Yeah,
so many restaurants are probably insane.
Do you remember what you had for Milk and Honey?
Actually, I ordered for breakfast time, and I had a biscuits and gravy. That's big around here. And it's funny. I usually don't order biscuits and gravy, but it's good. But it's like you should not be eating that in the morning. Oh my gosh, it's so heavy.
Puts you right back to bed, basically. No, that's fantastic.
I ordered biscuits and gravy, and then I also had a fried pork chop and a breakfast with like eggs, and everything was just so good.
Hell yeah.
Oh my.
Milk and Honey. That just sounds like a great restaurant name in and of itself. So I like that. You got the contrast between that and got the pizza in Jersey. That's fantastic. All right. What's your favorite video game of all time?
Favorite video game of all time?
Yep.
Halo 3. I'm going back to Halo. I've never been like a giant gamer. Like I like it's funny because I'm a Halo player. I don't call myself a gamer.
Sure.
I'm a Halo player. I don't play any other game but Halo. Like literally no other game but it. So like I played like a little bit of fighting games back in the day. Like I'm like playing Tekken at a buddy's house. Like oh my gosh, to go at it with Tekken. But that's the game I love. Halo 3.
My next one would be least favorite video game of all time. Would that be Halo 4? Or do you have a different answer?
No. I don't think Halo 4 is that bad. I don't think Halo 4 is that bad. I'll say the least favorite Halo game of all time, video game of all time, would be Pokemon Red.
Wow.
But hold on. I have a reason for it.
I want to hear it.
I had my game. We're gonna bring it back. I had my Game Boy Advance, and let me tell you, no, not a Game Boy Advance. Excuse me, Game Boy Color. Game Boy Color.
I hear you.
And it was teal, the teal Game Boy Color. And I loved this thing. And I was playing, and I would play all the time. I played on my stints, but there was one weekend where I played all day. We're talking about from Saturday, probably from like I used to wake up early as a kid, like 7 o'clock in the morning, probably all the way to like 7 o'clock at night. I played this like all day.
Right.
And I forgot to save the game.
Oh fuck.
And my Game Boy died.
Oh fuck.
And I had my first experience of gamer rage. I'm never gonna play this game again. This is ridiculous. I'm blaming everybody but myself. This is ridiculous. I never made it to the Pokestop to press the save game. Crazy, insane. I'm never playing this game ever again. And then I picked it up again tomorrow. The next day. Excuse me. I picked it up again the next day.
So it's kind of like a poker situation as well. Or like a Halo 3 situation where it's your favorite game, but you're like it's worst game too. Man, I was anxious. I'm like, how the fuck does he say that Pokemon Red's his least favorite game of all time? Like that is the hottest of hot takes I've ever heard. But that's a justifiable reason. I like that. Oh my god, that's funny.
I played all day. I went like we're talking multiple gyms. I pretty much almost finished the game in like 12 hours.
Oh
Bam,
my god,
start all over.
And as a kid too, when that happens to you, like if it happens to you now, you're like, god damn it. But like if that happens as a kid. Oh man, you're just distraught at that. I couldn't even imagine.
I remember PlayStation 1, right?
Oh yeah.
So I didn't know like what I needed for it. My parents bought me the PlayStation 1.
Did you not have a memory card?
Never had a memory
Oh
card.
no, dude!
Never had a memory card for my PlayStation 1.
You had to restart every game that you played.
Every time.
That's fucking
Every
terrible.
time.
Oh my god. Whew. I remember PS2 memory cards crapping out on me. So like all my saves that had been on there were wiped. It's just shitty. All right, Tony. An unknown player that you expect to do big things in Halo Infinite. I know you probably have many, but name one for us.
I gotta pick somebody. I have some underrated players.
Go for it. Whatever
do you say?
you want. This is your shit. Whatever you want.
I can't say. I'm not gonna go Swish. Swish is known. I'm gonna go UEG Dragon Jared.
Dragon.
Because
that name.
He's good. Like he's good. And I feel like a lot of the casual viewers may not know him. Like a lot of people that watch like tournaments, they know him. They know him as a top. But people don't realize how good he is. So I would say I wish I could throw a couple out there. Cause I feel like I feel I'm doing a disservice out there to a few people. But one person that pops on the top of my head, UEG Jared. Sorry for anybody else that I'm missing. I know I'm gonna get a lot of DMs, people yelling at me after this. I know it because I this was on the cusp. Like, this is on the spot they put me on. So I didn't think of you. I'm sorry.
So a couple things. One, in terms of casuals, us. We had no idea for the longest time, Tony, I shit you not. We had no idea for the longest time how to pronounce that motherfucker's name. I swear to God, every week where he was in a tournament recap that we'd do, we would stumble.
Yep.
Just no idea until we heard you guys say his name during, I think it was an LVT. It was during a watch party stream.
Yep.
And one of you said Dragon. And I looked at the name and I'm like, oh my God. That's what it is. The UEG is just in front of it.
Real. Even that, he tried to go out and say that like it was Hungarian for the word dragon. A quick Google search proved that wrong. It's not. So I swear, I promise you, he smashed his head on a keyboard. That's what popped up, and that's his name. Because you asked him how to pronounce the name all the time. He said, "I don't know." Like he literally doesn't. Like, he doesn't even know what it is.
Oh my God.
Okay.
So we're not wrong then. We just don't know.
He doesn't know.
That's great. That's great.
Thank you for that context.
I felt like I was banging my head against a table. Like you look at it and you're like, what? We have a list, Tony. We have a list of best and worst gamer tags and team names of the year, and we're compiling them over every episode of the show. He's on there, obviously. Like that,
should be.
Oh yeah, he's top of the list right now. Like what? Oh my God. Okay, and then the second thing, I'll get to it here. The second thing is, if you want to shout out a couple other players that you have in mind, feel free to do so. This is your time. You can do whatever you want.
I mean, I'll throw out Swish out there. I'll throw out. I really want people to take notice of Vemzy, really young, and a lot of people don't like. A lot of people don't like him because maybe he might be a little bit more immature. But he's very, very young. But that young man is the real deal. Like it's oh my gosh, he is good. So I definitely wanted to point out those two as well.
Absolutely, we saw some of that during that Money Tuesday event as well, where it was him and Frosty. So it's like You're right. You're right to shout him out. And the beautiful thing is that I myself am a huge fan of the veteran talent that tends to stick around, right? When Snipe Down announced that he was leaving to go compete in Apex, I'm like, well, there's another one fucking god from the list. I'm just gonna cry. But you have all of this amazing up and coming talent who not a lot of people know about, and you're doing a great job of trying to represent those personalities that are coming up in the scene. And just by having their names be known puts that little bit bigger of a spotlight on them. And like I said, Vemzy, like you mentioned, during that Money Tuesday event, you really got to see this kid shine. And he's only going to do bigger and better things as well. So we all can't wait for Infinite, and I'm genuinely excited to see all of the still unknown talent out there who's only playing online, who has never competed in a LAN event again or before, and really making a name for themselves for the first time, just like I used to watch up-and-comers in Halo 3 and whatnot. So, hell yeah, Tony. Okay, who is your favorite Halo player of all time.
Of all time.
Of all time.
Wow. I'm going to go new school. I'm not even going to go old school.
Ooh,
I
like it.
I'm going to go new school. I'll go new school. I'm going to go Frosty. I got to go with Frosty because the level of skill that he has is not measurable. Like you literally can't measure how good he is. He opens up the game so much with his shot and his speed and his communication. It's the perfect package when it comes to a player. Like, you know, there's players out there that are absolutely sick with the shot or sick with the movement. They don't have the communication.
No.
They got the communication, they got the shot, but they might be a little bit slower, so not have the movement. Like, to have that perfect like triangle of a player, like I even will put him above Shotzi.
Yep.
Personally, and it's tough because I don't know how. Like, I know if Frosty picked up Halo 3 right now, his movement's not changing. He's still gonna play super fast. He's gonna have an amazing shot. It's gonna change. There's a lot of players. I wonder. Like, I know Roy played Halo 5 competitively.
Yeah.
But like he didn't play like late Halo 5. He ended up back. And I would love to know how Roy would play in like 2019 or 2018 Halo 5, because it's the meta has totally changed.
Absolutely.
Like, it's to the point where before, like, Frosty like built the mode like back in the day and whatnot, and now everybody's flying around. Like, the meta is like literally like it's like XX right now. It's like a perfect XX Halo where like everybody's flying and it's the scariest thing in the world.
There's a reason why he won Halo 5 MVP. There's a reason why when you think of Halo 5 in a competitive sense, he is one of, if not the most prominent player that you think of. And you're right. I would also put him above a Shotzi because of the pedigree and the consistency that he's had year over year. And that's not a fault against Shotzi because he came in late and he's doing great things in the COD scene right now. But when you think of Halo 5 competitively, you think of Frosty and what he brought to the scene, kind of like how you would think of an Ogre 1 and an Ogre 2 in like the Halo CE, Halo 2 days. Like those are the types of players that you think of, the cream of the crop, the best of the best, the game-defying players.
I also would throw a disclaimer out there that I didn't watch Halo 2 competitively, so I do apologize if I'm missing. Like when I look across, like, you know, when I look across like Wall Street, Ogre 2, Ogre 1, and I their impact was great.
Yep.
But I never saw them Halo 2. I saw Halo 3, which was good.
Yeah.
But their Halo 2 was insane. But I didn't get to watch it live, so sorry, guys.
There's nothing to apologize for.
Hey, I'm straight Halo 5. I came into Halo during Halo 5, and so yeah, no shame in saying you haven't seen Halo 2 because I didn't even see most of what's been there. I'm still trying to catch up. Josh is telling me about things that happened years ago. I'm YouTubing and whatnot. So yeah,
those trash talk montages for like back in the Halo 2.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Yeah, like taking candy from a baby.
I need to get better at the trash talking portion because I feel like I'm too nice at times.
Just don't get Will heated. He'll go off. It's crazy.
Yeah,
you'll punch tables.
You know, stuff happens.
It's okay. At least we're not at like summit monitor punching levels yet.
No.
You know,
a little fist slam when you're mad's not bad.
Action Man destroys a whole room, bro. Like, it's just a whole room.
True. All right. Favorite Halo team of all time.
Instinct.
Oh, now are we okay? Question: are we talking God Squad Halo Reach Instinct? Or are we talking Halo 3 Instinct? What are we talking about here? God Squad Halo Reach Instinct was amazing, but yes. I always love an underdog team. Halo 3 Instinct was like, that would, like, if you didn't want to root for Final Boss, yeah,
you rooted for Instinct because everybody wanted Instinct to, like, Roy's our boy. Like,
yeah.
Is that like us rooting for Envy in Halo 5 when we wanted them to take down Sentinels all the time?
It. Okay. That's exactly it. Yep.
See, bringing my knowledge up here.
That's great. Instinct is the only MLG team shirt that I own. Is the old Instinct logo one, and because it is dope, and I love that. Oh my god, that's a great answer, Tony. It's a fucking great answer. And then the last rapid fire question that's not technically rapid fire anymore. Your favorite.
I play on 2 sensitivity, bro. I ain't moving fast at all.
Oh my god, that's great. Your favorite Halo event of all time.
This is like from a spectator or right or what?
This could be anything. You can even give 2 answers for all I care, playing and spectating, whatever you like. Tony.
You gave the playing answer earlier.
He did give the playing answer earlier.
Well, this is gonna be me as a spectator, and just because so I like to think of myself as I love competitive Halo, but I like to think of myself as the bridge between casual and competitive. I'm not just for the competitive community. I'm exciting for the casual. I think about the casual community all the time.
Yes.
So different kinds of events are important because certain events just bring out the casual community. So I'm gonna go the Halo 4 Global World Championship.
Wow.
So and again, there's the fact that the free for all.
Yeah.
You compete online. You play. You tried to fight your way up. You played the free for all, and then it ended at a 1v1. Let me tell you, I hate 1v1s. I actually haven't played a 1v1 since Halo 3 personally. But who loves the 1v1s? The casual community. It's winner takes all.
Yeah.
So that was such a different event. And it brought I like to think of Halo community as social media. So the ultra competitive Halo community, that's Twitter.
Yep.
But there's a whole Facebook side of things and a Reddit side of things that we don't reach out to. And that's they literally hate competitive players because of their attitudes.
Yeah.
That's the Facebook and Reddit, that's the casual community. And that Global World Championship brought those 2 communities together. And it was just so to end in a 1v1. Absolutely crazy to me. So I'm going to give that answer. For that reason.
Not only did I get 2 fantastic answers, but they were both regarding Halo 4 events, ladies and gentlemen. That's the best shit. People give me shit all the time for my adoration for that terrible game. And I'm not even talking from a competitive standpoint. I'm talking from a casual standpoint. I genuinely enjoy playing the multiplayer in 4 with all of its bullshit with loadouts and all that stuff. I enjoy it. It's fun to me. So hearing you give 2 responses because you played in one and the global championship as a spectator. Oh my God, Tony, I love you. Nobody can give me shit anymore.
Hey, you know what? I would love for Halo Infinite to maybe they won't have ordinances, but maybe have a playlist. Maybe it could be social,
sure, and
have Ordinance Slayer, where you earn the ordinance points. That's how you earn points, and then it was almost like kill streaks.
Yeah, exactly.
And you get to pick an ordinance as a power weapon. It don't have to be in ranked. Hey, let it be social. Hey, if it has its own rank station, fantastic. But I thought it was kind of interesting. I don't know. It was fun.
It's funny you mentioned that too, because I think the running joke and that I've heard from our community members and whatnot is that Halo 4 is the best Call of Duty game that 343's ever made. And if you think about that, how true is that statement? It's so true. But hey, it is what it is. All right, Tony, let me just say, I mentioned it at the very beginning. I mentioned it in the middle. I'm going to mention it at the end as well. You are an amazing talent, sir. You continue to do incredible things. You are everywhere within the competitive scene, casting multiple events, sometimes every single week. And it's great to see you on the screen. And I can't wait to see what you do in the future. I expect big and bright things. I know it's going to happen eventually. Tony, to end things out, what are you up to and where can people find you?
I've recently, as many of you guys know who follow my Twitter, I've moved over to full-time streaming for the time being. So, full-time content creation. Because I'm not just a streamer, casting and YouTube as well. So you can find me on twitch.tv/YNOT_B_casting. You can also find me on Twitter, twitter.com/YNOT_B_reckless. And also, which nobody knows about, my YouTube. I started it and I'm putting content out there. Why not be casting? You look it up on YouTube. I am there as well, and I'm going to be pumping out a lot of content into there. I'm working with Abramel and a bunch of people to get some editing done because I know nothing about them.
That is awesome. And then the last comment that we have here, and it's a sentiment that we all share. So from Goalie Sniper again, and from all of us within the community, this isn't a question, but we hope we get to see people like you on the desk casting infinite events in the future. Talent growing within the community is amazing, and we would much rather see that than outside talent being brought in. So Tony, again, you're incredible. You're goddamn gorgeous. You're not ugly, okay? So fucking think that you are. You showed a love for Halo 4 that I've never seen anybody else say before, because I feel like I'm the only fucking person that's explained that. And Tony, you to say, in the words of Golden Boy, he says he's a national treasure. I believe you are a national treasure as well, Tony. Excited to see what you do in the future. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And is there anything else you'd like to say before we end things out?
No, I mean, thank you for having me. It's funny because when you first reached out to me, I thought you wanted me to conduct the interview. Like I very rarely get asked to actually do interviews myself. So I'm like, oh yeah, who we're interviewing? And then I read it again. I'm like, oh, you want to interview me? I'm like, why?
we are not like, no. We have nothing to fucking share, Tony. Are you kidding me? Why the fuck we talk about I love Halo 4? That's
it was just so funny. So, but no, I honestly thank you, because I mean, first of all, I love the idea of podcasts. Like the fact that I haven't tried to venture into one is insane. But I love being a guest as far as podcasts, and I love what you guys do, and I respect what you guys do.
Thank you,
and thank you for giving me a platform to just to run my mouth, because I love hearing myself talk.
We wouldn't have it any other way, Tony. We want to be able to give you that platform for you to run your mouth as much as you'd like to. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony, aka Why Not Be Reckless, aka Why Not Be Casting. And wait, hold up. AKA he's kind of a freaking big deal. And if you don't know, now you fucking know.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, have a great night. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. But until next time,